Hi guys, welcome to the spoon activity. This is what we're going to do today. It's a complex piece of geometry in this region here, where the liquid is collected. It's created using surface geometry. So it's kind of a couple of new little things in there, but nothing majorly different to say it'd be similar enough to the shoehorn kind of question that we done in activity number 18. Okay, so moving over to the guide here, okay, just going to zoom in here for a second, and this is how we're going to start. We're going to go on the top plane there, and you can see there's the origin. Draw two circles, 30, 12, and 27. I'll try and remember that. So sketch circle here, and then another one horizontally in line with that one. Okay, and then they're going to be 30, 27, okay, so the diameter is 30 and 12. And the distance between the center points is going to be 27. Okay, and I just want to, if I want to fully define it, I would just lock the origin and the center of that circle there to be horizontally in line. Now, after that, what we're going to do is a radius 60 center point arc, and it will have to be tangential to both circles, and then there'll be a bit of trimming going on. So I'll just go with a center point arc, and I'll just kind of run it in this direction here, and I'll make that arc and that circle tangential, and do the same again for the arc and that circle and make them tangential. And then we want to put a diameter. It's automatically put a radius on that for me. We're going to go with radius 60, and that is fully defined. I will then trim off the entities, the bits I don't need. I'm going to set up a center line here as well, just between the two center points, and this is the profile here that we're after, and then we're going to mirror it. Okay, so trim off the bits I don't need. Actually, what I'll do there is I'm going to extend that center line to the end of the circles. So trim here, 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 and here. Okay, so it's fully defined there, so I can just mirror everything over now. Mirror it about the center line, and I missed that arc there, and there we have it. Okay, fully defined. Radius 12, yeah, so we have everything there, and that's our top profile. Grand. Okay, so I'll end that and I'll just call it top profile. And I will go there. So what we want to do now is, so that's what it looks like from above. Okay, what we want to have now is like a guide curve, or a curve that we can do our surface. We're going to use I think it's a boundary surface is what we're going to use here. We can try both. So what I need to do is create this shape here. It can be done in the same way. I'll just zoom in on it there. So the center line can be used to create the relations required to define the sketch. Do I need a line across the top? I don't think so. Okay, so front plane. Do we need to do convert entities? I'm not sure we do, but I'll just draw. Do I need a center line? I'm just going to put one in, maybe just in case. Okay. Now I'll go with a center point arc here. I'll put the end of it there, and let's have a look at the other one. That's just another center point arc, and they're going to be tangential again. So it's quite a massive center point arc. So let me zoom out there. I'll just go like that. Make the two of them tangential, and I want to extend this one so that it touches the other one, like so. And I'll put the end point over here. At the end, I will trim off. Well, what is it? It's radius 96. So radius 96. It's going to make things look a bit weird. No, it's not. That's fine. That's perfect. And I'll trim off the bit there I don't need. Now, does this need to be a fully enclosed? It saying convert entities there, but I'm not sure I need that. So because it's going to be like a kind of a guide curve. Okay, so we'll see how we get on. Now that's, just want to have a look here. So now look at this here, it's saying diameter 18 as if it's a full circle, so it's really radius 9 because it's only an arc, and it's saying it's over defined, and of course I didn't see that, the fact that there was one there because I'm blind. There we are now. So I need that to be locked in there at the end. I don't want that to move. And this one here, so basically what has to happen here is that this new profile that we're drawing has to be locked in there. So do I have to, I probably have to pierce this here. Would that be an idea? I'm going to pierce it, even though the guide probably doesn't say anything about piercing there. I'm actually going to pierce. I'm going to say that profile there, hold control, select the curve and go to pierce. And I will do the same with this one, hold control, select that profile there, and it doesn't let me do it because I need to use a point. That point there, hold control, that curve, pierce. Okay. And now it's fully defined. So that should be okay there. So the key here is that this curve has to start and end with the original profile that we done. Okay. So we'll call that front profile. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use a filled surface. And we're going to select in the blue box this top boundary enclosed shape here, and then we're going to go down to the constraint curve, not a guide curve but a constraint curve, and select that one there. And we have to have optimized surface selected. Okay, so we go to our surfaces tab, filled surface, select that there, and we're going down here to the constraint curve when my computer catches up. So at the moment there, if I just hit the green tick, watch what happens. It just fills that in as a surface now, and I could thicken it, I could trim it, I could do whatever. However, that's not good enough because we need to have this dip in the spoon. So what we want to have down here is the constraint curve put in, and that's taking its time. The optimize is ticked, which is good, and we can see what we get there, this kind of bowl shape. Okay, so I'll just green tick that. That should be fine. And what I want to do now is I want to thicken it. Okay, so it's a surface. This is an introduction surface to introduction activity to surfaces. So you know it's just kind of going through the basics here. So we want to thicken it. Set the thickness to 0.5. Outside. Choose thick inside 2. So we're thickening. Thicken to the surface. We want to thicken to the inside. Okay. So thicken 0.5 millimeters, and we want to thicken to the inside, which is going that way. Okay. Now, this is going to give us thickness, but it's going to give us a problem as well, which you'll see now in a second. So surface fill. Okay. So if I go to an elevation, you can see what the problem here is. You can see that you have this kind of weird looking curve there. That's kind of right. It shouldn't be right. It should be level at the top there. Basically, everything along that line, if I was to continue that blue line there, it should be just an edge view of the top of the spoon instead of rising up and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the plane. So this activity was strategically done or started on the top plane. So if I highlight the top plane and look normal to it, you can see that the top plane, that's where the original profile was done. You can see that it's kind of passing through this excess bit of material that's coming as a result of the filled surface. So what we can do is we can use that surface to cut it. Now there's other things. We could use a split. You could use a split there, and it would trim it. Like maybe I might explore two ways there. So if I just go to cut with surface, that's the one the guide asks us to use, and the surface there is the top plane. Okay, we have used this before in another activity. So if I just go to the elevation, you see what it's doing there. It's basically cutting downwards, so that would actually remove the bottom and keep that little crappy bit at the top. So if I just flip it that way, perfect. Okay, that's how we get a nice level top in the spoon. If I just delete that for a second, let me just try. Is there another way of doing that? I think we can go to insert features, split. I think that might work. Features, split, and our trim tool can be the top plane, and we want to cut the part. Okay, and you can see what it's doing there. It's giving us 2 parts like so, and we want to, if I go consume cut bodies, and if I just go to that one there, what it'll do, consume means to use up, so it's going to use up that top one. I think I have the right one ticked there. So there we are, perfect. Right, another option there is if you don't use the consume cut bodies, let me just untick that. Let's say we just have both parts there. It's chopped, it looks the same, but if we go to our solid bodies folder, we have 2 parts there. So equally I could just take that split there and just go delete the body, and it's gone. Okay, however, the most efficient way is probably to just go cut with surface. Okay, so I'll just go back to that there, go to my search up here, make sure that little black symbol there is to search for commands, cut with surface, drop down menu here, top plane, selected bodies, all bodies, whatever. There only is one body. Actually it's saying there's 2 bodies there. Why is that? Oh yeah, because there's a split there, so delete that. Grand, back to normal, insert, features, split, no, not split, sorry, cut with surface. Right, there we are, green tick, and see, that's after getting rid of it down the way. So if we just reverse the arrow, it'll cut up the way, and finally there we are. Bit of mess in there, but just to show you a few things. Okay, that's all that done. Now we want to set up a new plane based on the right plane, and we want to set it 70 millimeters over to the left. So right plane, features, reference geometry plane, and we want to set the distance to be 70, and I've done it the wrong way there because I'm too impatient. So I'm going to flip the offset. It's gone the other side. Super, that's what I want. And now what we're going to do is, on that plane, it looks like we're drawing it on the surface, but we're not. We're going to draw on that plane by looking normal to it. I'll flip it the other way. I'm going to get myself a center line up the middle as always. I presume that's vertical. Yeah, it is. Yeah. And I'll do a corner. I'll do a corner rectangle like so. And what I want here, to ensure that it's centered, if I right click on that line and go select midpoint, grab, hold control, select the origin and go coincident. Okay, I don't know why I've done that. Well, that's weird. Let me just undo that there. So it's a bit weird. So right click on that, select midpoint, select the origin, go coincident. So geez, I don't know why it's doing that, so I'm just going to delete that for a second. I'm just going to go with a center rectangle. Try that again. Center rectangle here like that. Hold that line there and that line there. Actually, just drag that point up. Why I'm making a mess of this. I'm making it more difficult than it's worth. Okay, there we are. That's the best way to do it. So we want to go 6 wide and 2 deep. Just wasn't far off it there. And there. Great. End the sketch. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do a boss extrude base up the surface, so that and we get it merging with it seamlessly. So hide that plane, features, extrude boss base. Now we want to up to surface. Now we could do up to body or up to next. Let's try up to next and see what happens. That will work as well. So if I go up to surface, I can select the surface. It's doing it there as well. I can also go up to body, and it does it. So all 3 of them will work there. And do we want to merge the result here? It doesn't really say. Does it really matter? Do we have to combine it, share it? Let me think. It doesn't say anything there. I'm just a bit wary of doing this, but I'll go merge result for now. Oh yeah, that should be fine. Now it hasn't. Looks as if it's not perfect there, so that's a bit unusual. So I'm going to go back to my boss extrude base there, and I'm going to try a different one, and it still seems to give that little lip there. It's a bit weird. I don't know what that is. interesting though. I'm sure it's not there anyway when we do a photorealistic image. Then what we do is a shell, I think. So, or fully round fillet on the end of it. You get a nice little rounded end on it. So fully round fillet. So that one, right click. That one, right click. That one, right click. Like so. Then we do a shell. We're going to shell the handle out for 0.5 millimeters and select the bottom surface of it, so that'll just shell hopefully the handle out. 0.5, select that bottom surface. And I want to see the preview. Now I'm just worried about that there. This is why I was thinking, should I have merged the result? I'd say this is going to mess up now. Let's have a look. No, I've actually done it. That's fine. Okay. And it seems to be merged with it seamlessly there. I have only one body. Yeah, that's fine. Now we're going to write and extrude this text that says doesn't say what material to put on it, but I'll figure something out. Okay, on the top there, normal 2. So this is just the standard. That's really annoying me, that is. I have to figure out what it is. I don't think it's anything, but we'll see. So sketch a center line, but I'm not going to put it in the center of that surface. I'm going to put it slightly low down. So maybe there. Now I could add dimensions to that there. I could, if I select them, let me see here, is there a midpoint there? If I wanted to get a dead center, what could I do? I could probably put a mid line there, like so. Right click on that center line and go select midpoint and select that midpoint. Hold on, how do I do this? Let me think about it. So right click, select hold control, right click, select midpoint. Can I make them coincident? No, it doesn't let me do it that way. Okay, so what I'll do is, I'm sure I don't want it that high up anyway, so I probably just could have just said select midpoint, hold that line, coincident. Then I can just drag it down to the height that I want. So I'm going to put text on this now. It's going to say 5 ml. 5 ml. Height of the text is units 3 and 1. Okay. So we go to the A symbol now. So 5 ml. Center it. Make it bold. I think it's going to make much of a difference. Use document font. Open it up. And the text we're using, Century Gothic. There we go. Go to units 3 and the space is to be 1. That's it apparently, and just extrude it. Features, extrude boss base, 0.25. Merge result as well. And the material is to be PTFE. Now PTFE, do I have to go in this way to find PTFE? Let me see. Edit material. PTFE is polytetrafluoroethylene as far as I remember. Just give it a second there to catch up. You may or may not be able to get it in the custom materials. Plastic. Custom plastic. I don't think it's going to be here. No. Just close that. PTFE, I'm not sure where that is actually. Plastic. Patterned wax. I'm sure there's a way of doing it, but what I'll go with is just clear plastic. Maybe the frosted one, not polypropylene. I'll do polypropylene and put it onto the whole body. Okay, so now it's transparent, and that's it there. Now I'm still interested about this here, why that's not, doesn't look like it's merging with it perfectly. That is annoying me. So if I'm going to do a quick SolidWorks add-ins, PhotoView 360. I want to have a quick look at it there to see if it actually is on it. It's going to take a second. I'm not sure why that little merge with it up to surface has the end condition. Select the outer surface. I might go back and change that. Maybe I didn't do that right, but I can't see why it would make a difference. Render tools, preview window. It'll take a while to open. That's the exercise done anyway. Just coming up in around 20 minutes now. We're done. Just let me see what it looks like here. This is taking a long time to upload. We'll just pause the video for a second. Okay, there we go. It's open now. So it's going to take a while to fully render, but we're going to see if there's any marks there. There doesn't appear to be anything. Yeah, it looks okay. If I just change the angle slightly, get in a bit closer, let's have a look. It'll update it. So basically your SolidWorks PhotoView 360 is based off whatever angle you have in your SolidWorks part file. It just replicates that. Any plastic or material that has see-through properties, it's going to take a while to generate. So I can't see an issue with that, but just let me try. It was the Boss extrude for the handle. I'm just going to edit that for a second. And I'm going to go up to surface. I'm going to select that as a surface there. Let me just cancel that for a second. If we untick that. Oh, there's a little bit of a thing there. Okay, so that wasn't from the extrude. That was from the loft. The boundary surface maybe. It's interesting. But it doesn't seem to be a problem, so I'll just do up the surface like so. And that's it. Okay, so we'll just leave it at that there. If there's a reason, if I can figure out why that little mark comes up in it there, I'll let you know in class. Okay, thanks.